Hello guys, it's Sean here doing a little unboxing. So we have the customized set U. Finally, this took way longer to get here than it should have, but it is here now anyway. See here you have some stuff on like the top and bottom as well. All the parts here listed out, which is really cool. And at the back with everything, so I guess if you want to take a look at all this stuff, feel free. Hopefully it's okay. I just want to focus. Hopefully you can at least kind of see it, but anyway. I'll go ahead and get this all opened up, and then we will go over all of the parts. There's a lot in here, so a lot to talk about here. Alright, everything out of the box now. So first up here we have the instructions and whatnot, so there's that. Now let's get into the actual parts themselves. So this is kind of hard to go over because there's a lot of extra parts. You have like a main base. I'm just going to go over all of the parts that are not a part of KnightMail first, and then we'll get to KnightMail after I've gone through everything else. So anyway, go ahead and start off with the ratchets, because there's only two and they're not that interesting. So the first one here is going to be 160. So here's 160. It is in this kind of yellow-ish color. It's like kind of brown in the center, almost more of a tan, but and you have the yellow on the outside. Definitely not the greatest color scheme in the world, I'm not going to lie, but it's a color scheme. And for the other ratchet here, this is actually a new ratchet, which is really cool, and that is 770. So this is a brand new ratchet. We have, you know, of course 760 already, but yeah, 770, new height, opaque red on the outside, transparent on the inside. Very interesting. So yeah, cool to see this, I guess, existing now, but yeah. Moving on to the bits, there are 5 bits, so well, actually I'll get into what I was going to say later on. So as far as these bits go, we do have, I guess, like one of the most bland ones here is a ball. Just a plain white ball. Good part though from Rhino, so I mean that's not bad. And then he also gets a blue point. Also, this is a pretty good part. Definitely a solid reprint as well, so definitely not bad to have the point bit. First ball is just like kind of a sound thing. This, of course, has a small ball, so it kind of stands up straight with decent stamina, but if it tilts, you know, you have the more attack-oriented outer ridge here. Also has higher burst resistance. I know this is one that, well, not a lot of people are excited about, but Metal Needle. Dark green. Might go well with like a Drasil remake or something, whenever that comes out, probably next month, but yeah, I know this isn't a good part. It's metal, can damage stadiums, not good at all. Low resistance. This thing's just not a good bit, but it had to get a reprint somewhere, and it's not like it kills a set or anything, so it's fine. And then we have the bit that I think everyone is excited about, and that is getting Rush in red. So got the extra burst resistance, of course, and of course you get the, you know, flat part here, a little bit smaller, more controlled, and also only 10 gears, so it's a 12, so again, a bit slower on the extreme line. However, that will help to conserve stamina, which is nice. And then there's actually a new bit here that's unrelated to anything, and that is going to be Rubber Accel. This was actually supposed to be in the, well, it's not supposed to, it's going to be in the anniversary set, but we are getting it early, which is nice. So yeah, you have, of course, these 16 gears to make it, you know, faster on the extreme line, extra burst resistance. It's also rubber. It's a very soft rubber, I feel, so this is probably going to wear very quickly, and the rubber itself is kind of short, so I see this thing wearing and probably being kind of unusable pretty quickly. There's also this big dish here. This could maybe help a little bit with Life After Death, but the main thing is to help it, when it extreme dashes, it'll help it to kind of raise off the ground a little bit, which should help the rubber not kind of interfere with stuff and wear quicker, so that's nice. Yeah, also it's a pretty nice color scheme here. It's like a really dark kind of purple, or maybe even like an indigo, with this really bright, like a lime green, almost like a yellow-green rubber, so I've heard some people say this isn't a good bit, but I mean, it is a rubber bit, which is really cool to see, and I mean, it at least looks cool, I think. It's a new idea. Hopefully they get it right with later rubber bits. I'm sure we'll get more eventually. Then we have our blades. So first up here, we have, I guess one of the more nice looking blades. We have TyrannoBeat. This is a red painted TyrannoBeat. Also has a red translucent gear chip. Also translucent black underneath. This is a prize blade. Really nice to have this. Just accessible. I know this is a good blade. I wouldn't want to use it though because it's painted. But yeah, very very cool looking blade for sure. So yeah, the other blade you get here is HellsHammer. This is this one I don't think, unlike the other initial 3 UX base, this does not have a single reprint. I don't think so. We get one in blue, and it looks really nice. You know, got this blue painted metal, blue gear chip, dark blue underneath. This is just a really, really nice looking blade. Yeah, it looks great. And then we also have here TerraSwing. This is a Hasbro exclusive blade. Now, I guess imported to Takara Tomy. Interesting. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's kind of a translucent yellow-orange gear chip and then just translucent yellow underneath. So, of course, it is a Viper Tail variant. But, yeah. Just to compare real quick, let me grab my Hasbro TerraSwing. As you can see, yeah, they are the exact same blade. Although, different colors, but yeah. Same blades. Just, again, Takara Tomy now has their own. So, I guess we'll do part weights now for all of these extra parts here, just to give an idea of how much they weigh. So, first up here, we'll start off with the ratchets. These are generally consistent. So, first up here, 160, 5.93, pretty light actually. And then 770, 7.26, 25, whatever. Generally one of the heavier ratchets for sure. Ball is 2, average. I got point, 2.15, pretty normal. Rush, 2. And then we got metal needle, it's probably a little bit heavier. Yep, 2.82. And then rubber Accel, the new bit. How much is this going to weigh? Wow, okay, 3.12. So decently heavy, likely because of this extra, bulk up here. Blades, TyrannoBeat, generally a pretty heavy blade. 36.7, solid. HellsHammer, not the heaviest blade, but still 33.57. It's actually pretty good, better than I expected actually, so not bad. And TerraSwing, so I'm actually going to go ahead and weigh the Hasbro one first to get an idea here. So the Hasbro TerraSwing is 34.32, okay? So pretty heavy for a Hasbro blade. This one, 34.48, so like slightly heavier, but like nothing like that, like crazy. So anyway. So now we can actually go ahead and kind of use all of these parts to make a 2 bays. You make 2 combos out of these parts. I will say, I wish we got a third ratchet here. I'd honestly trade 2 bits, maybe like metal needle and like, I don't know, maybe a ball. I would have traded those for an extra ratchet here. I think we needed an extra ratchet. Just give us 4 solid bays instead. That would have been nice, but we gotta pick and choose. I don't think HellsHammer matches well with either of these ratchets, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this aside. Well, 160 does kind of match a little bit with TerraSwing. There was a combo that Takara Tomy used that I will use for this bay, and I will explain why later. So we're actually gonna go ahead and use this with TyrannoBeat, which I think is fine because the original TyrannoBeat, of course, is kind of offset. Jumped. I think using that on this makes sense. Also, the original one had a little bit of brown, so works well off. I think the color scheme here is fine enough. And then as far as the bit goes, I mean, I think the red rush is in order here. This will be my custom TyrannoBeat combo for this set. So here we go. We have TyrannoBeat 160 rush. And I think it looks at least pretty alright. Yeah. There you go. Anyway. Now, getting into the other combo here for TerraSwing. So Takara Tomy did use a specific combo, which I will keep, and that was with 770 and Rubber Accel. So, this combo is interesting, because, I mean, it just kind of uses all the newer parts, but I will explain why I like this combo. So I won't give this a proper rating, since it's technically a new bay for Takara Tomy, but, anyway, so let me get that there. Okay, so here is our bay. TerraSwing 770 Rubber Accel. Oh boy, that looks like something, but, yeah. I'm keeping the combo as is, though, but, yeah, okay. So, let's give this bay a rating, since it is, again, technically a new bay. I want to keep that consistent. So, as far as a physical design goes, I'm giving this, like, a 2 out of 10. Look, it doesn't look great. I mean, it looks okay. Physically, it's just the color scheme. Yeah, this is clearly a throw together, but they didn't really have a proper plan, I don't think, for a TerraSwing stock combo, which is unfortunate, so we gotta kind of make our own, and we'll use this one, so I'm using this one, and it doesn't look great. However, based on a conceptual design, I'm actually giving this thing a 6 out of 10. I think it's solid. Now, let me explain what I mean by that. So, the thing with the Hasbro Blade variants, one of my biggest complaints, I made a whole video about this recently, one of the things I don't like is that they don't really change their identity enough. Because a lot of blades can be used for multiple things. Like, let's just say you get, something like Viper Tail. Viper Tail is good for, like, attack. Well, maybe not good, but you know what I mean. Like, it can be used for attack. So when you have TerraSwing, and then Hasbro, they just gave it, 380 balls. Not a huge jump from 580 Orb. With this, you get a different idea. So 770, this can actually be used on attack blades. So, cool. And then you get Rubber Accel. Alright. They actually changed the identity of Viper Tail with a variant. I think that's good. And I think, yeah, this actually does work as an attack, combo. So that's why I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's a crazy, obviously it's still kind of a throw together, but I think the idea is there, and I think that it was a cool idea to see them actually use a more attack-oriented combo for a blade that was typically not supposed to be attack. Then again, I think they probably just use it because these are all the new parts that come in the set that are not related to KnightMail, but it's a better way to look at it, I guess, glass half full. Anyway, let's move on to the actual star of this set, and that is, of course, KnightMail. So let's start with a bit here, which is, of course, Bounce Spike. So here's Bounce Spike, and, alright, so here it is, and definitely modified, probably a little bit better for defense based on the shape here. And also, under here is modified. The whole idea is to basically let this, like, push in and out the shock absorb. I will show that when the bay is fully assembled, a little bit better, but for now, that is just a quick explanation. Then you also have probably the weirdest part ever, which is 385. This doesn't have, like, the whole inner part. It's just one single piece. So when you put this ratchet on, there's no inner part that just stays still, and then the outer part twists. The whole ratchet just twists. And, yes, it is very, very tall as well. 85, a fourth height. And yeah, the outer part is also modified to be much, much more round. Which makes sense, all things considered, otherwise this thing would be very burst prone, I feel. I can't say 385 is a good ratchet, I kind of doubt that, but it's a new idea. I wonder if we'll be getting more ratchets like this. I wonder if this is the new style they're going for, but I'll have to wait and see. But then the most important part here is going to be KnightMail. So KnightMail, finally our UX Knight is here. Looks pretty decent. This opaque green, I wish it was maybe a little bit darker or just translucent, but it's alright, I guess. You have these balls on here, they are kind of a copper color, and they move up and down. You can kind of see when I flip it, you can see them just move in, and out a little bit. Hard to see, but you get the idea. Decent defensive shape. It's round enough. A little bit of, recoil, but I think that's fine for a defense type. Now, the idea behind KnightMail and its gimmick. These metal balls, what they're supposed to do, when the bay spins, they're supposed to actually be kind of more upwards, but if the bay gets hit and it's kind of off the ground, the balls are meant to kind of go downward, and what that's supposed to do is give it a little bit of a jolt of weight down to help bring the bay back on the ground. It's supposed to help it, stay on the ground, be more defensive, I can't see this gimmick being amazing. I mean, this blade seems pretty heavy, though, so I think it'll be good for defense. I just don't see the gimmick itself doing a whole lot. Maybe a little bit. Maybe, like, if you were to get, like, barely knocked out, normally maybe this would, like, just barely save you. But we're talking, it'd be, like, a hyper-specific scenario that this actually works as a gimmick. It is cool just to see moving parts in the blade, though, so I will take it. I always like the ball gimmicks and the blades or layers or whatever, you know. They're never like amazing, but they're cool. So let me get my scale. Let me actually weigh the other beys, because I did not weigh the full combos I made for TyrannoBeat and TerraSwing. So we'll go and do that first, actually, and then we'll talk about KnightMail's full weight. But so just to kind of keep things consistent, my TyrannoBeat combo here is 44.63 grams, which is pretty nice. You can't even see that. And yeah, I know the lighting does not allow that to really be displayed well at all, so I have to read that up. Yeah, 44.65. And then we have TerraSwing, this thing, 44.87. Okay, that's fine. So how much is KnightMail, though? So Bounce Spike, I expect this to be fairly standard. Yep, 2 grams on the dot. 385. How light is this going to be compared to a normal ratchet? 4.73. That's also not good. If you're going to be very tall, being that light, I'm not sure on that one. 4.73. Not ideal. And then KnightMail. How much is KnightMail? Okay, 36.49. So a good weight and good for defense type, for sure. I am fine with that. Now, how much does this entire bay weigh? I think 43-ish? Okay, 43.23. It's a decent weight. I do think 385 is definitely holding this back a lot. So, yeah, anyway. So there's all the weights. Yeah, apologies for not being able to, like, read that at all, probably. I know this lighting doesn't lend well for that. Anyway. So, let's go ahead and put the whole bay together, talk about it, and whatnot. So, I don't know if this actually works. Do you just put that on and twist? Or that feels like it wants to just burst. Okay, that locks in. Okay. Don't know how to feel about that, but okay. And then Bounce Spike. Alright, so. So, okay, here is KnightMail 385 Bounce Spike. So, this is, like, extremely tall. And yeah, so Bounce Spike, as you can see, it moves around a lot, and it can, like, push in. So the whole idea is shock absorption with that, so when you launch, it'll help to, you know, absorb some of the force from when it hits the ground, but also when you have the gimmick that's meant to kind of drag it back to the ground and, like, you know, land quicker, it helps it absorb that shock when it lands. So they are sensible defensive gimmicks, I think. It's just not, like, that interesting. It works, though. So overall, my thoughts on Knight, how do I think about this, or what do I feel about this, like, physically, like, design-wise? This thing, I like it more than I thought. I'm actually going to give this thing, honestly, an 8 out of 10. I really like the way this bay looks. I think the opaque green, it's not ideal, but I think it still works really well. Again, I would prefer maybe a little bit darker or translucent, but it's still fine. Perfectly fine. And I think the 385 Bounce Spike, it looks interesting. It's unique. Color scheme works well, I think, especially with the, I mean, if they used like a light green, I think this would have looked awkward, but because it's a darker green, at least like an okay, you know, green. It's not overly dark, but again, darker than the Ratchet, so I think it looks good. And Bounce Spike is a nice bit of extra color, so yeah. I also like the whole ball design going on here. I like the, you know, having the copper. I think using them is like, or having them be copper instead of just silver. Good design choice for sure. Also got the white for the prongs here, which I think also helps to add just a little bit more contrast. So, yeah. As far as the conceptual design of this bay goes, I'm also going to give it an 8 out of 10. It works as a defense type. The gimmick is sensible. The balls are meant to kind of drag the bay down, and I think that is good. I think, again, even if the gimmick itself isn't perfect, I care more about the concept, and I think, yes, the concept here is there. It at least has, like, a little bit of a function. Again, it does weight down the bay at least, if nothing else, just adding weight. So there's that, and again, it's an idea. Bounce Spike, shock absorption. That makes more sense for a defense bay than a stamina bay, in my opinion. So you know what? Cool. 385, yeah, this I'm not sure about, but it's a Ratchet for sure, so there you go. But overall, I guess before actually ending, I do have the other Knight base here, so you do have, of course, Knight Shield, which is definitely the base this is closer to, but definitely quite a bit different. And it is just nice to see a UX Knight for sure, though, but yeah. There it is next to Knight Shield, and then also we have Knight Lands, which I mean, I can see a little bit of, you know, parallels between, not many, but it's there. And I guess the nicest thing about all of this, though, with finally having our UX Knight, is that we can do something I've been waiting to do for a while now, and that is to put all of these side by side. And let me actually fix Drawn Buster's ratchet real quick. There we are. So now it looks right, because before I'd have put like Shinobi Shadow here as a defense type, which that looked wrong. This looks correct. So yeah, we now have all of our main original 4 bays in UX form, which is honestly just great to see. I'm really glad to see all of them finally get UX versions. So yeah, honestly great to see that. But anyway, as far as the set as a whole goes, we'll put, you know, I guess KnightMail up here front and center. Of course, we do also have our Hasbro Bay Turn of Takara Tomy with PteraSwing. Also have our custom TyrannoBeat combo, and then we also just have, you know, the extra parts with, you know, HellsHammer and Metal Needle and Point and Ball. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So I feel like, again, I just prefer when we get normal combos. I don't like when we get, you know, oh, you get, you know, a main bay, then just a bunch of other parts that you can make some combos out of. I don't like the customized sets at all. I don't. I mean, yeah, I prefer getting a set here than just, like, I guess, KnightMail as a starter or something, or a booster, but I would have just preferred 4 full combos. I miss the customized sets from Burst when they did that, when, you know, you don't have to worry about, you know, parts, you know, just random parts existing. You get to make full combos, and also, the best thing about that is they actually color match them, because nothing really color matches properly. They're just all individual parts that you could technically make 2 extra bays out of, and then just have a leftover blade and 3 bits, but KnightMail's like the only actual bay here, so it's a little bit unfortunate, honestly. I'm not big on that, but I still think this is a good set for sure. Again, KnightMail's cool. You get some other parts here. There's good stuff here, and the blades at least look cool, especially the painted ones. They make for nice recolors, but still, would have preferred a little bit more here, in that sense of just better color cohesion with 4 proper stock combos. It's a little bit unfortunate, but I still think the set is for sure worthwhile. Just for some new base, but also, yeah, if you're a competitive person, this is definitely worth it, for sure. I just don't care about competitive personally, but yeah. Anyways, I think that's about it for this video. So, finally got to talk about the custom. I've been waiting for it for a while now. But anyways, that's all. So, yeah, oh wait. Oh yeah, never mind. I gave my KnightMail ratings already. I thought I forgot for a moment. But yeah, nope. Already did them. Gave it 8 in both ways. So anyways, that's all for this video. So, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.